And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Oneida County Sheriff Rob Mashel is our guest. We're talking about a lot of Oneida County law enforcement issues. Before we get to the boat patrol, though, I want to ask you a question about more of a national thing, Sheriff. Sure. There's, in some cities, there's big cities, a war on police. I'm not sure how else to put it, but the police coming under a lot of fire in some of the big cities. We don't see anything like that here.
No, we don't. We have a very, when I say we, the law enforcement agencies in our community have a very positive relationship with our people. First and foremost, the horrific murder that we witnessed of Mr. Floyd, being killed by that police officer, and that is not who we are. That is not how we train. And when I say we, I'm talking about police officers across this community and across this country. Certainly that like I said, I've been on this job 31 years. I've never been trained a technique like that. Our policies forbid techniques like that, as most, or if not all, agencies across this country. And obviously that sparked some protests, and we are with the peaceful protesters. We had one here. We had a very large protest in the city of Utica, and we were with the Utica Police Department. The people were very peaceful. We stood with them. We protected them. So that they could express their free speech, as every American should be able to. And then, unfortunately, as we saw in other parts of the country, other people came into these protests with different intentions, and we saw a lot of violence and looting and things of that sort. So it certainly has made policing very challenging these past few weeks. But again, like I said, all of us, no matter what profession we're talking about, but specifically police, we can all do better. We can always do better. But the one thing that we pride ourselves on here is, like I said, we have a great relationship with our community. The sheriff's office is one of only three accredited agencies in Oneida County. And again, the state of New York Accreditation Council, which is part of the governor's office, they set very, very high standards for law enforcement agencies to follow, those that can reach those high standards. And like I said, we are very proud to be one of those agencies. The 140 policies or so that the state says that police departments must have and must follow to meet these high standards, we do that. We meet those standards. We exceed those standards. We have community outreach, like I mentioned, with our community affairs unit, and we have an open dialogue with everyone in our community, and it's very important for us to have dialogue with our entire community, so that when, like I said, when organizations want to have a protest, a peaceful protest, like I said, we're there with them. We were with them, and again, we have room to improve. All of us do, and we'll continue to do that.
You said 31 years on the job. You've been sheriff for 10 years, so the other 21 came from where?
First started in the village of New York Mills, did a short time in the town of Whitestown, and did most of my career in the Whitesboro Police Department, where I was, I had the opportunity to do a whole bunch of things. One of the highlights was I was able to work inside the Whitesboro Central School, and working with kids and teaching kids to, be good citizens and stay out of trouble. And so I've had a lot of opportunity in my life, and then was elected to serve as a mayor of my hometown for a while there. Also did a term on a school board. So serving the public is something that I truly enjoy, truly love. And like I said, right now I have the best job in the world, and I couldn't be more thankful to the people of Oneida County for trusting me with this position.
You mentioned working with school kids. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office has a partnership with how many schools?
Nearly every single school district in the county. We have both the SRO program, which stands for School Resource Officer. We're in 3 different districts with SROs. Then we also have our Special Patrol Officer program, which provides uniform security to every single school district in Oneida County except for Oriskany, because they contract with the Oriskany School, New Hartford, because they contract with the New Hartford Police, and the Rome Police Department, because they contract with Rome Police for their services that they need. We're in 10 of the Utica, the 10 Utica elementary schools, and then Utica Police handles the two schools with the older students. But again, we pride ourselves on having such a positive relationship with our school community, which bridges the school and law enforcement and community together. Very successful program with the goal of keeping our kids safe. And like I said, it's just these are positive partnerships that are proven to make our community the fine place that it is.
We've got a minute or so left, and I mentioned the Oneida County Sheriff's Office Marine Patrol, so we better talk about that. They're in the water, are they? What lakes?
We are patrolling all the waterways in Oneida County, but primarily we spend most of our time on Oneida Lake, which most people refer to that as Sylvan Beach. We patrol that nearly every single day. Delta Lake, which is our second largest lake. So we have boats stationed on both of those lakes. And then we have a few boats on trailers that we obviously try to make our presence known as much as we can. It gets a little challenging with staffing, but Cayuga Lake, White Lake, Bart's Canal. So we're basically trying to cover every waterway in the county. It boils down to common sense. Have life jackets on those boats for everybody. Don't drink while operating that vessel. Respect others out there. Watch your speed, watch your wakes, depending on the waterways and where you are. We can enjoy this beautiful weather that Oneida County or beautiful places that Oneida County has to offer when the weather is good, which it has been. But again, we just want to practice safety and common sense, and we can all have a very fun and enjoyable summer.
We've only got about 30 seconds left, Sheriff, but when it comes down to social distancing at restaurants and places like that in the county, are you called to enforce that?
We are called to, I guess, educate people. We've been charged with working side by side with the county executive with trying to enforce the best we can all these different regulations. Again, with the goal of keeping our people safe by not spreading the virus, because we've seen so far to date it's taken, I believe, 80 lives here in Oneida County. So it is a dangerous thing that's out there. But when we get a complaint, we make a phone call to the business. We educate them the best that we can, and nearly everyone has complied when they've received those calls from us. If the business persists to intentionally violate, an executive order or some other type of regulation, we refer them to the health department, because in many cases, if it's a restaurant, they have a permit from the health department, or if it's a bar, they have something from the liquor license. But our goal is not to shut any business down. We just want people to comply and to make do our best as we make our way through this pandemic.
Always good seeing you. Come back anytime.
Thank you very much.
All right. That's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week. We'll do it all again. Don't forget cnyhomepage.com. Lots of good stuff there. Until next time, take care of yourself, everybody.